How much is that doggy in the window? If you have to ask, you're likely looking in a pet store window for a four-legged friend and not considering a rescue dog. But our guest this morning says rescue dogs are the cat's meow, or the dog's woof in this case. Dr. Diane Pomerance has loved dogs her entire life, and she's the author of many pet-related books, including Animal Companions, Your Friends, Teachers, and Guides, and Our Rescue Dog Family Album. Diane joins us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
You know, I think it's interesting because you and I talked before, and you said from day one, you've just loved pets.
Every single one of them. Every single animal I came into contact with, I loved.
What was the first one you had?
Parakeet.
And then you
and a turtle named George.
You still remember his name?
And a Yorkshire Terrier named Goliath. Oh yeah, we just moved on, yeah.
You know, and then you moved on to the big dogs.
And cats.
And cats,
yes.
Yeah. There's something special about a rescue dog, though, isn't there?
Very much so. The feeling of gratification, for one thing, for saving a life. And they're so grateful, and it's such a feeling of fulfillment to have saved a life and to have rescued an animal that's been injured, abused, neglected, abandoned, homeless, and to bring it into your life and to give it new life.
Do you think they know?
Of course they know. Yes, I have 21 currently, 21 rescue dogs.
21. You do it.
It's hard work, and it's worth every moment, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
You know, it's interesting. You have 21, and we've talked about the importance of adopting rescue dogs. Why do you think, Diane, more people don't? Because, you know, they'll walk past the pet store window and they'll go in and they'll buy a $500,000 dog, but there's so many other pets out there in need of good, loving homes.
You know, and unfortunately, people don't really think about that issue. They fall in love spontaneously or impulsively with a little kitten, a little fur ball of a dog, and they don't think about the homeless ones that are out there, the abandoned ones, the people that haven't been able to afford to keep their dogs, who have let them go for whatever reason, and who end up in shelters. And they need to give it serious consideration. It's a lifetime commitment. It's a decision that's going to impact you for many years, as well as your family. And if you have kids, it's certainly going to impact them.
You know what, and one of the things that impacted me is when I was doing the research for this interview, I was looking at some of the statistics. I'm talking about millions of dogs that are, you know, tortured, abandoned, abused, and just, you know, left out there. What ultimately happens to these poor dogs?
These dogs die, they're euthanized, and unfortunately they could be such wonderful companions for so many people and transform lives. There's so many lonely people out there, and the companionship of an animal really increases their longevity and improves the quality of their lives.
You know, it's funny because I'm smiling because my kids, my oldest son is 9, and he's been asking for a dog for a long time now, you know, a few years. In fact, I've been very hesitant to do it because I think that the burden of the responsibility is going to fall on mom. How true is that, number one? And number two, how would my son benefit from, let's say, getting a rescue pet? Would there be that pride in ownership, not ownership, but, you know, pride in having a
guardianship?
Yeah, guardianship.
And responsibility. Well, absolutely, you are going to be the one to assume the responsibility for the pet. But it's so worthwhile.
Okay.
Yes, but it's so rewarding because you see the benefits and you see the light in your kids' eyes and you see them as they understand and reciprocate and relate and confide in an animal companion, and there's nothing to replace that.
And the fact that they've saved a life.
Exactly, and their responsibility and their compassion component, so that as they become adults, they're more compassionate, more humane, more respectful.
You know, as I told you, I've read your books, but the one that I have to tell you I really love is the Our Rescue Dog Family Album, because I could just feel how much love you have for all of the dogs that have entered your life. And, you know, I think it's such an important thing that you were able to document that, but with that incredible love also comes loss.
Absolutely, that's a part of life. You know, we're constantly losing someone or something, whether it's financial loss or professional loss or human loss. So we need to get adjusted to the idea that this is something that is inevitably going to be part of life, and we need to learn the skills to cope with and recover from loss. And grief.
And grief, yeah, that's very true. Well, we've just got about 30 seconds left, but what would you say to folks out there who may be considering getting a dog? What can you say to convince them to perhaps get a rescue dog and not buy a dog from?
Well, there are profound advantages to having a dog, period. Scientifically substantiated evidence indicates that they improve life and our health. If you can save a life, why not?
Sure.
And I think that the rewards are boundless.
We see it in your face, and I've seen it in your books. Diane Pomerance, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. All right, kids, you're getting a dog. I shouldn't probably have told them that. They'll find out soon enough. All right, if you'd like to learn more about Diane Pomerance and the work that she does with rescue dogs, please check out her website. It's animalcompanionsandtheirpeople.com.